If there's one dog toy I could recommend to anyone, it's the flirt pole. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about this one enough, but especially if you've never played with your dog much, this is a great tool that will help you build your bond, but also will help you get some energy out of your dog and let them let out some frustration that they might have that could be contributing to their reactivity issues. The flirt pole is a great way to exercise your dog even if you can't move around too much, or if you're just having one of those days where you don't feel like going on a really long walk. The flirt pole isn't going to replace a walk because they each just have their own benefits, but again, it can be a very useful tool to put into the mix. Places like Amazon do sell flirt poles already made, but I find that it's quite easy and pretty cheap to make them yourself. The way I make flirt poles is with a handle part, a string part, and then at the end of the string is always the toy. I went to my local dollar store for some simple rope dog toys, and I also got a broomstick without the broom attachment. I also checked out my local thrift store and found another mop there that I could also use as a handle piece. You can really get creative and use any handle piece that can let you attach a rope to it. Depending on the size of your dog and how strong they tug and things like that, you might have to be cautious about what you use for your handle. But little dogs can use very simple handles, even something like a wooden spoon from your kitchen that has a hole at the end where you could tie your paracord to could be enough for a little dog. So don't be afraid to get creative and kind of look around places to see what you could use for your handle. My paracord I just get from Home Depot, and I get a bunch of it for like $5, and you can make many flirt poles out of the one bundle of paracord. You really don't need a lot. As for the toys at the end, you can pick whatever toy you want. I like rope toys because a lot of times they already come folded with kind of a loop to them, and I can tie the paracord on there. But I have also bought scrap leather from one of my local stores here and attached that to the end, and my dog absolutely loves it. So again, you can get as creative as you want in terms of what to attach to the end of your flirt pole. So what I do is I take a broomstick, and sometimes I actually cut the broomstick in half because I do find that having a really long handle on your flirt pole can kind of get in your way, and you don't want to smack yourself with the pole. So think about maybe cutting it in half. If you do cut a metal broomstick in half, make sure to tape off that cut edge so that you don't cut yourself or your dog on accident. And then what I do is I take the paracord and I tie it to the end of the broom handle. And I make sure to actually duct tape around the knot as well so that it's extra secure. And then I give a couple feet of rope. I can kind of test it out and see where the toy would drag if I tied it onto the end, and that's how I decide how long I want the rope. I've made a couple mistakes in the past. I've made one before that's a little too long and it becomes kind of flimsy and the toy doesn't jump around as much because you have to make so much movement before you hit the end of the rope or the end of the paracord. So, and also don't make them too short because you don't want your dog to not be able to run around. So try to find the nice sweet spot, and it might just take a little bit of experimentation on your half to make it personalized to you and your dog. So once the paracord is attached to the broom handle, I measure how long I want my paracord to be, and then I find my toy and I attach that to the other end. And then I do the same thing with the knots. I will put some duct tape on the ends so that they're nice and secure. That way my dog can tug as hard as they want and I don't have to be worried about the paracord just coming loose. And that's how you make a flirt pole tug toy out of an old broomstick, some paracord, and a toy.